You're listening to Off the Card, an action figure podcast, a show about action figures by kids trapped in the bodies of grown men. And here they are, Billy Cooper and Eric Murphy.
It's so good to be back, guys. Finally, I think we've got everything figured out. And now we're back, and we're going to talk about SDCC 2022. And joining me, as always, is Eric. And coming along for the ride this episode is Joe. What's going on, guys?
No, not much. Going over all this mess.
Yes, mess. So we were talking off the air, and we'll kind of bring it up here real quick. This year didn't feel as big as years past as far as announcements to me. I think a lot of that probably has to do with them having all the companies kind of changed directions during COVID, and they've all had these like weekly or bi-weekly or once a month like releases. Like McFarlane releases like everything every time he gets something in his office. To like, I know Hasbro with all the Pulse, and they had the G.I. Joe Tuesdays and all that good stuff. So it felt like we've seen a lot of this stuff, but some of it we haven't. I don't know. Eric, where do you want to start at, man? You what did you cover?
Right. The three big ones I was covered was NECA, Hasbro, and Mattel with the WWE stuff. Okay.
We can all agree that NECA has basically turned into the Ninja Turtles Central.
Yeah. Not to be confused with the Predator and Alien Central.
Hey, at least they got away from that. I mean, shit.
No, I don't know. I got plenty of photos to the contrary.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, NECA has 6 different runs of Turtles going right now, it seems like. They have the Universal Monster series, the Ronin series, the classic comic book series, and then the cartoon series.
And then they've got the Archie comic book series as well.
Yeah.
And then they debuted the Mirage Turtles designed more of the Jim Lawson design. Yeah. And those made me very, very happy. Because those are big, chunky, mean-looking turtles, and they're less cartoony. So,
I mean, with the Universal Monsters, they kind of tie in with NECA, so NECA probably the way to start with. So they got a whole new series of the Universal Monster series. Mm-hmm. So you have the Igor, Mummy. There's going to be an April Bride.
Yep.
Then there's the Van Helsing Splinter. Yeah. Which is neat.
So with all those, you could speculate. I would think Shredder will probably be Dracula.
Maybe. Yeah, I can see that.
That's the only one they really haven't touched upon. I mean, they went so far as to go to Van Helsing quick. Van Helsing's adversary is Dracula.
Yeah, it would be Dracula. No, that makes perfect sense.
That would be appropriate.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense to me.
It's the cape, guys.
yeah, the cape too.
That cape just screams, "I want to suck your blood." So,
and he's got all the blades to draw the blood. So
there you go, man.
That makes sense. Yeah, and then with the Turtle series, you have the Ronin stuff, which looks cool, especially with the comic getting out there and taking off the way it did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, any Turtle fan, they're going to be after all this stuff. I mean, there's an arsenal of it. I mean,
oh yeah, there's we could dedicate 2 episodes of just Turtles.
Yeah, because I even noticed they're doing pre-orders for more Playmates stuff for the retro series. Like there's a box that you can get, it's $160 that has all of the number 2 movie series in them. Mm-hmm. And then there's another one. It's a box set of nothing but the villains. It's $160 on Walmart.com right now.
Yeah, I've seen those too.
Yeah,
they're reissuing all the Playmates stuff, the vintage stuff. So with NECA, you had the Turtles. You had
there's a couple things I thought was pretty cool. Like they've got a deal going with Disney.
Yes,
and now they're doing the Dinosaurs TV series.
Which is also Jim Henson too. So
and there's also prototype photos for Darkwing Duck.
And Darkwing Duck, though, that is Darkwing's Diamond.
Is it Diamond?
I thought it was Diamond. NECA. Yeah, no, it's Diamond. I trust me. As soon as I sing Darkwing Duck, I flipped my shit. So yeah, I'm a big mark when it comes to that Disney afternoon stuff. So,
and then you have Alf coming at some point.
Alf, yeah. I seen things from NECA that caught my attention before we move away from NECA is their D&D line where they're reimagining classic D&D characters and turned them into like their scale. Zarek and Strongheart really caught my attention because I've got the other two, which is War Duke and I forget the other guy. Anyway, yeah. And then the freaking gargoyles they released.
Yeah, the Xanatos robot.
Yeah, and his the Steel Clan. And then they also showed Goliath's daughter, Angela, I believe.
Yep, Angela.
And they said that's not all of them. They said they're going to do more. So hopefully we get an Elisa Maza to round out like the cop side of things. So
and then other than that, on the neck end of things, you had more Thing stuff to Thing monsters, more photos of Dracula, photos now of Creature of Black Lagoon and Invisible Man. Crap, I completely blanked out. No, then there's a few other things Predator-wise. The new one for Prey that drops the next week. There's going to have a new Predator for it. Monsters. They're doing a series for the Monsters Run for Rob Zombie's film. They're doing figures for it. Then like a TV host from that Zombie.
Zombo or whatever. And then I've seen they're doing a couple of new Toonie Terrors. We've got
they have Hocus Pocus, Teen Wolf, and there was one more.
I think some of the Killer Clowns.
Yeah. So you're getting more Toonie Terrors.
I saw the Killer Clowns.
Yeah. I like the Toonie Terror stuff. It reminds me of like, for me, it reminds me of the like Scooby-Doo villains. Like they all like the Jason has like bell bottoms and stuff, and he looks like he should be chasing Shaggy through a swamp. I don't know. It just looks cool to me. So NECA, they came out super strong. NECA is going to be at PowerCon in August with more stuff as well. So I'll be on the ground for that one at PowerCon. Over in Columbus that weekend. So I'll going to make a point to interview as many people as I can. Let me think. Jada. So let's spin off of the real quick of the NECA stuff. Jada Toys, which kind of came out swinging with their version of Universal Monsters last year, or was it earlier this year?
Earlier in the year. Yeah, the small figure.
So they debuted their Invisible Man, their Wolfman, their Mummy, and they actually have the license, like NECA, for the Bela Lugosi likeness. They don't have anybody else's likeness rights but Lugosi. That was really interesting. They're going to do another Icons. I'm a big fan of their Count Chocula and Frankenberry figures. They're doing Chester the Cheetah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're doing Chester the Cheetah. I was like, that's kind of cool. Not my thing. And they also signed a deal with Capcom. They're going to be doing a line of articulated Mega Man figures, which we'll see how far that goes. And then they're also dipping their toes in with Street Fighter. And they had Ryu, Chun-Li, and Fei Long out to be shown. They said in an interview, I think it might have been Pixel Dan, interviewed him, and they said that they are going to do every series of Street Fighter, which is like 2 a year. 2 figures will be like mainstream Street Fighter figures, like Akuma or Chun-Li or someone like that, someone everyone knows. And the third figure of the wave will be what they call a wild card. It'll be a figure of somebody more obscure so they can get those figures out to fans. Thought that was a pretty good idea. So, yeah, good for them. I mean, we'll see how the figures don't look horrible. The Fei Long looks beautiful. It's got, like, butterfly joints and like, the collapsing chest-looking thing, and it looked really cool. So, if I'll wait till I see those before I make a final judgment to collect them or not. But I really don't want to mess with another toy line. Joe, what did you check out?
Well, I definitely watched everything that Mezco showed. They're probably my favorite toy line outside of like Hasbro, G.I. Joe, stuff like that. So they announced a few of their 112 figures that looked pretty good. Their con exclusive was Eradicator Hornet, which is another, if you're familiar with the Kriegs.
Yep, it was the black one, right?
And yeah, there's like rainbow Kriegs now.
Yeah. And then yellow and blue and everybody, yeah.
Red and white, the black. Well, the Eradicator is apparently, because they do a whole stop motion video to introduce it and everything, and it's the black Krieg fighting one of the yellow murder hornets. And long story short, he morphs into a combination of the two. Black Krieg with wings. Yeah. So that was the like I said, that was the con exclusive. It sold out within a couple of days, which is typical for Mezco.
Yeah.
But they also announced a Superman in the recovery suit, the black and with the silver shield and everything. Yes, full on mullet.
Sorry,
looks pretty nice.
No, it's a product of its time, and it looks good though.
Oh yeah. They announced a Silver Centurion's Iron Man, which that name always confused me since he's mostly red. But if it's anything like the other Iron Man figures, it's going to be at least partly die cast. I only have the red and gold classic, and it's nice. And it's a nice figure. One I'm not familiar with, character from Lord of Tears.
The Owlman.
It's a movie. Yeah, the Owlman.
It's a British movie, apparently, like a B movie. That's got a big cult following because of the creature design.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where he comes from. I seen that when I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it looks cool. I'm not familiar with the series or anything, but yeah, it looks really cool. Another one is not really a surprise because they've already done Conan the Barbarian, Conan the Conqueror. Now they've got King Conan.
That one looked beautiful.
Unfortunately, I've missed out on the other two Conan figures so far, so I might have to try and get in on this one. And the one that made me the happiest, their final reveal of the weekend was a Dr. Octopus figure, which I am so happy because earlier this year they announced and put up for pre-order a Green Goblin to go with their
Spidey.
The re-release of the classic Spidey. So that'll be a day one pre-order for me for sure.
Right on.
And they announced a couple of their MDS figures, Pennywise. Again, I'm not a big horror guy, so I'm familiar with Creepshow, but I'm not familiar with Fluffy from Creepshow.
He was the monster in the box. Was it Creepshow 1 and Under the Stairs 1? Yeah. Yep. We're horror dork.
Yep. I watch very little horror. It's got to have some comedy in it to really appeal to me, unless it's Stranger Things. I watch. Yeah. So
it was pretty. I watched some of the Mezco stuff. It was pretty cool to see. I was nothing shocking though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
nothing really
came out. Like nothing I seen this year was like, oh damn. Other than the go back to NECA when they announced that they're doing the Dinosaurs TV show. I'm like, oh damn. Okay, that's interesting.
Surprise.
Well, I'm seeing because I have the Disney app on my phone because you can use it for when you go on vacation. I'm seeing a lot of, and this is a easy way to get your hands on stuff. A lot of the Marvel, Star Wars, any of the action figures that are coming out are actually popping up on their app. So like those Hasbro Pulse VHS tape X-Men, they're on the Disney app for $25.99.
No shit. Huh.
Yep.
Cool.
And so if you're after some of that stuff, you might be able to catch it on the Disney app, the Disney Shop app, and buy it through them.
I'll be damned.
Sounds like I need to install a new app.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I got a feeling, I think that's because I went to Disney World in November of 20 and I was seeing stuff in stores and I told him, I think it's a matter of time we're going to start seeing exclusives, and they just opened the Guardians of the Galaxy ride and there's already some Hasbro exclusive Marvel Legends there for Guardians.
Yeah. So, I've heard from various people in some Facebook groups that the Disney parks are actually a good place to find some of the hot toys.
Yep. You are correct.
So,
some of the small shops on the side streets, you go jumping in there and you will find them in there hiding.
No kidding. Very cool.
Right on.
So let me think. What else did I see? Oh, Mattel. Oh God. So for me, on my side of Mattel, it's all He-Man all the time. The Eternia playset. Holy crap. Yeah, it's like possibly. It's like this is possibly coming out. I'm like, how's it possibly coming out? It's sitting right there. Give me that playset. And then I seen Origins. I collect Origins. Origins is going toward the Snake Men for 2023, which I'm fine with. They make good looking villains, so I'm down with that. And then I seen a couple of new Masterverse figures. Revelation, Evelyn as Sorceress, which she's in that like bat costume looking thing, and she's got like these little garter belts. Okay, so it's kind of creepy, but she's kind of hot. I don't care. She's like, you can have everyone can have their Baroness. I'll take Evelyn every single time. But and then Roboto, and what else did I see? Who else? Oh, McFarlane. Okay, I'm just going to be real brief on this. He really didn't announce anything at the show. He kind of announced everything before. The only thing he released during the show is he got the Avatar license.
Yep, I did see that.
Good for him. Good for the fans of Avatar. I prefer my dances with wolves with no blue people in it. But
I like Aliens more.
Yeah, I do too.
That's exactly the opposite of that movie.
Yeah. But in McFarlane, I guess he said he's going to announce more stuff at D23. So good for him on that. You mess with Star Wars, Joe?
I'm sorry?
You mess with the Star Wars black figures?
I do. I now have as many of them as I do G.I. Joes, but yeah. Actually, I just picked up the Mandalorian Ahsoka yesterday.
Okay. The only thing that I cared about myself from Black Series this year announcement was those 2 Halloween figures.
Yeah, those look pretty sweet.
I don't know how they're getting released, but I want both of them. There's a Wookiee with ears, like little werewolf ears. And he's got the ice cream maker painted to look like a jack-o'-lantern. Yes, I'm all about it. I thought those looked great. Also, they didn't show much, but Hasbro has the license, of course, for Dungeons and Dragons. And they are making a gelatinous cube. Did you guys see this?
I saw that. With the snap-in pieces?
Snap-in pieces. So I already pre-ordered that thing. It's $35, and it's literally an empty cube, and it's got a stand in it, and you put your figure in, and you make its arms or legs stick out of these holes, and it suspends it in the air, and you put the top on it. So it looks like it was eaten by a gelatinous cube from D&D. I'm like, okay, that's the best $35 I've ever spent. I'm going to stick so much shit inside that gelatinous cube. Yeah, it looked really cool. If that's where they're going to take the D&D toy license, I'm all about it. All about it.
Yeah, that just screams fun.
Yeah, it is like this is good. I like this. What other notes do I got? Gelatinous cube. Oh, Diamond. Eric, did you see that Diamond got the AEW license?
Yep, that PVC statue of Punk. They kind of ripped off the pipe bomb.
Yeah, they did. Oh, you a wrestling guy too, Joe?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so I seen AEW. They got the Moxley statue. They got a Punk statue, and then they've debuted Mini Mates. Friend of ITCE, Danhausen. Hopefully, we get one of those PVC statues of him throwing the curse fingers. That would be absolutely amazing. I will have multiples of those, just randomly, strategically placed around the house. Those look good. Diamond also showed their Wave 3 Invincible figures, which we're getting Alan the Alien and Duplicate. They showed the renderings for Darkwing Duck. So that it's a deluxe figure. So it's probably going to be part of the select line, I would think. And then they also showed, as far as selects, they showed Beta Ray Bill with his new helmet. That looked good, didn't it? That looked like it came from the Beta Ray Bill series that Daniel Warren Johnson just did.
Yes. Looked like straight off the pages.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, all about that. And then that Apocalypse. They showed pictures of the Apocalypse select figure. And in an interview, Zach Oates said that they're not showing you the attachments for his hands yet. So he's going to have some extras. So pretty stoked about that. I'm a big fan of Diamond Select figures.
Yes.
Especially the bigger and the chunkier the guy, like Juggernaut or Colossus or stuff like that. I like them big. So yeah, those look really good.
Yeah,
Diamond had a good turnout.
That Immortal Hulk Diamond Select figure is possibly the best Hulk figure I've ever seen.
Yes, I'll agree with you. I'll agree with you. He is a big, big bastard.
Just so happen to have him right here next to me.
He's a big boy, man. He's a great figure, though. He's very he toes that line between like movie and in comic book. Like they did a really good job, of borrowing from both. Eric,
I can't wait. My Mezco Wolverine came in today, and I can't wait to do try out some photography between him and Hulk.
Nice. Those two would look good together. Eric, what do you got for the wrestling? I know they dumped a crap ton of WWE stuff.
I'm literally just like the amount of it. Like there's a lot.
High spots.
Okay.
Let's start with this. How about the Elite? Like their classics, like their best of.
Yeah, that's one. The best of series. They're doing a lot of re-releases on it. They're doing another British Bulldog. It's a lot of rehashes of stuff that got put out previous. Bam Bam's getting a new paint job. It'll be Vader. Not the gray. Vader's getting a new headset. They're more WWE, where the ones before were like, my Vader is from New Japan and WCW, his first run. My Bam Bam's the gray and black from ECW. So now they're just doing different paint coats. They're doing those, and I will get a couple of those. The Legend series that I'm looking at is coming. You're going to have a new Molly Holly, and then you're going to have the superhero Molly. And then
when she's running around with the hurricane.
Cape. Yeah. A different version of Kane. You're getting an ECW edition of Rey Mysterio with his robe that he had when he was at ECW. Bradshaw and Farouk, you're having Acolyte series, but they're separate from each other. A new Kid Shamrock. Early 90s era Shawn Michaels, legacy version of Randy Orton. You have an early version of Ultimate Warrior with short hair.
Yeah,
the Dingo Warrior.
Dingo Warrior version. Yeah. I've seen some people really go nuts over that. They really like that idea.
Yeah, so, they're doing a another Mean Mark Callous edition from WCW. China, early era Edge. Some odd ones, like they're doing a Doc Hendricks figure, which is Michael P.S. Hayes when he was announcer, and they made him chop off his hair.
Yeah.
They're doing one of those. You're getting several different 2-packs out there. You're getting the Mega Powers.
Yeah, I've seen that too. Are those Elite or those Basics?
Those look like Ultimates. Because right now, I was just at Target yesterday, and the Ultimates, Mr. T and Hulk Hogan had came out. All the Hogans were gone. There was a mountain of Mr. T's. No surprise there. But they're doing... Another thing is, too, I flipped over the back of the box. There's a photo of Mr. T with Piper on his shoulders. I've never seen that Piper figure before, which tells me that there's going to be
the boxing Piper. Yeah.
No, this is different.
Okay.
His paint job's different, which tells me there's an Ultimates Piper coming. I have a feeling
I'll take that.
You're going to see Ultimates Piper and Ultimates Orndorff, because they'll all be from WrestleMania 1.
When are we ever going to get a Piper's Pit play set? You know what I'm saying?
We did. A long time ago, there was a series in the early 2000s when the Legends figures were coming out, when it was Jakks Pacific. It was a ring, and it was a stage setup, and Piper, it was Piper's Pit with a ring. They had that version. They had a couple other ones, too.
But I need that, and I need a Snuka figure and a coconut.
I thought you were going to say an alibi.
No, he didn't have one of those.
No, there's more Ultimates figures coming. There's Randy Savage, NWO, a new Bret, which I'm going to grab. It's the Bret Hart with the all pink jacket.
Yep, I've seen that too. That one's on my hit list as well. No pun intended.
Yeah, I'll grab that one. Some cool looking packaging for these. I don't know who they're going to be through, if they're going to be an online exclusive or a Mattel exclusive or what, but it's packaged like the LJN figures, but there's a Hulk Hogan, and it's called the Coliseum Collection, and it's a Hulk Hogan with red trunks with white boots.
Yes.
But there's Terry Funk, and it's not Chainsaw Charlie Terry Funk, it's Cowboy Terry Funk.
Yes, those are going to be carded like
they're carded like LJNs.
Yes, that's exactly what they're going to be. They're
and I don't know if they're going to be exclusive to other websites or what, but that one got my attention real quick. Then AEW's doing the Owen Hart figure.
Yep, they're doing a couple of different Owen Harts.
Yeah.
I seen the Punk in the ice cream packaging.
Yeah.
That makes me very happy. Yeah. It comes with an ice cream bar.
The No Holds Barred, the packaging for it alone is neat. Is the No Holds Barred set, which has Hulk Hogan and Zeus.
Yeah, that was.
And it looks, the box is a VHS tape, and then you slide it out, and the figures are actually in a plastic VHS, and you take the plastic piece off. And I was like, that's actually pretty cool.
Diamond's been doing that lately with some of their Walmart exclusives, like the Crow and the Rocketeer. They're coming in like the clamshells. Yeah, the old like white Disney clamshells. Yeah, they're pretty cool.
And then you got these throwback Hasbro, the 90s era.
Superstars, yeah.
Figures. No, not the Superstars. These are the hard plastic ones.
Yeah.
The ones that, was it Kenner that made them, or was it Hasbro made them?
It was Hasbro. It's the ones that Cardona and all those guys go nuts over.
Yeah. They're doing a whole big run of those. They're bringing those back big time. Too many to count, really. There's tons of them. But that's pretty much it on the WWE front as far as stuff goes. Other than
most of the AEW stuff from the other,
they were fairly
side.
Quiet. Yeah. The only other thing that I saw right now, you can pre-order it on Target, is the 30th anniversary box set for the first episode of Raw, and it's $60. It's on.
Is that the one with the 1, 2, 3 kid and
Hulk, Razor and then Taker.
And they all make the Raw, the old
Raw
backdrop.
Set. Yeah. And it's $60 at Target. You can pre-order right now, which I'm deeply considering, because I already have a Razor and I have multiple Takers, but I don't have a kid.
That 1, 2, 3 kid, that's when he beat Razor, right?
Yep. This is
the
the second match, because he's got the cash in his hand, because this is when he puts up money on him. This was the second match. But that's about it on that. Other than that, I'm a Ghostbusters collector. It was quiet this year, thank Christ. Until next year, when the movie comes out, Christmas next year. And then,
of course.
Then you see me running, screaming into traffic.
Yeah, no doubt. It was cool to see this year, though, about some of that we've seen Comic-Con happen again in person. It was cool. I've been watching a lot of the videos of a lot of the YouTubers. Like, I follow Shartimus Prime and my friend Dan, Pixel Dan, and then some of the other guys. It was cool to see them like get to interview people again and walk the floor and see everything. It feels like things are got back to normal a little bit. So good for them. Yeah. So it was pretty good. I think I think the days of everything being dumped at Comic-Con though are probably over, because these companies have went so far with like their weekly specials.
Well, now, I mean, they announced Paul's Con's the end of September. I mean, so we're going to have Paul's Con, so Hasbro's going to dump their payload then.
Before we hop off here, though, Joe, you're talking about Joe's. What do you think of that Serpentor? With his sled. Pretty badass, right?
Oh, man.
Are you going to get the Hiss tank?
Probably not.
Okay. I'm with you. I'm with you, man.
If I manage to come up with the money by the time it closes and don't feel like a weird amount of regret for spending that much, yeah, probably not.
Yeah. It's cool looking. I'm with you. I dumped my Joe, my classifieds collection a few months ago with no regrets. And then I seen all the stuff that Super 7's doing with their Ultimates G.I. Joe line, and they look like they just fell out of the cartoon. And I'm like, okay, so I got rid of $20 figures and replaced them with 55.
Right.
I'm a moron.
Yeah. Yeah, the only thing Hasbro that caught my attention is the creative figure thing that they're doing, which is pretty cool. It's $60, which is actually fairly cheap. I was expecting to be $100.
Yeah.
And you could pick between Ghostbusters, Power Rangers, G.I. Joe, I think, and I think Star Wars, where you can actually do a scan of your face, and they do it.
Yeah, I was looking at it. I was doing some research. It's through an app. It's through the Pulse app, and you do like the shots of your face, and then there's like different options you can do and stuff. For $60, I mean, you can't even customize or get a customizer to make you for $60.
Yeah, I was showing pictures to my wife, and she just looked at me. She's like, "How much?" I'm like, $60. She's like, "You want that, don't you?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Well, duh.
Yeah, right. No, it was cool to see everything back. Like I said earlier, our next episode will probably be right after PowerCon, which is the first weekend of August. I'm going over for the weekend, and I plan on talking to a lot of folks, and I'm going to do like some live stream video and things from the floor. NECA's going to be there, Mezco. I mean, there's a bunch of companies that's going to be there. So
yeah, I was contemplating about checking that out, and then also what I didn't know about was that Cincinnati Comic Expo at the end of September. I thought about going to see what was going on with that as well. Maybe, I don't know.
All right. So. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. It's telling me I've got less than a minute, and it's going to shut me off because that's what it does. So, guys, thanks for joining me. Everyone, see you soon. Later.